Now I want to take some time to talk about changing a word back to its original form or to its root word. So all this year you've been learning how to take a root word and add a suffix to it and all the rules. So now it's time to remember what those rules are and kind of work backwards. So you have to think about, what did we have to do to make the word what it is? So let's take a look at some words. Here we have the words sillier, swimmer, loving, and worker. And as you can see, they all have a suffix, sillier, swimmer, loving, and worker. So they have a suffix, but it's very easy to just do this because we just take away the suffix from it, right? Well, we could do that, but there's going to be a problem with the spelling. So the word sillier, you would go back and the root word would be silly. They're being silly. He is being sillier. And a lot of kids just want to remove the ER and then look at what's left. Silly, that doesn't look correct because you've been reading so long, you've been seeing these words, that doesn't quite look correct. So we're going to have to think about what we had to do to make silly into sillier. And the rule was, we did something here. This Y doesn't look quite right. And it was that rule. Remember the I? Change the Y to an I. So we had to change the original Y to an I to make it sillier. So now we're going to do it backwards and we're going to give it the Y back. So the word is silly. Now, the same thing, we're going to think about the same thing when we get to the rest of the words. What do we have to do to work backwards and take away the rule? We have the word swimmer. Again, a lot of kids think, oh, easy. Let's just take off the ER. Well, not quite, because that's not the way you spell swim. He is a swimmer. He knows how to swim. The root word is swim. And what was the rule here? It was when it ends with a single consonant and the vowel is short, we double the consonant before we add the ER. So in this case, we need to remove that consonant that we added. So we have the word swim. And that is, we go back to its original spelling for the root word. Then we have the word loving. He is a very loving person. The root word is love. And again, you would think very easy, right? Just erase the suffix and we have love. Now, you've seen that word a lot and that's sure not the way you spell love, right? What did we have to do to remember the rule? It was when a word ends with a silent love. There's a silent something missing here. Silent E, you drop the E before adding the ing. So that is what we had to do. Remember, we had to drop the E. So now we're going to undrop it, bring it back, and spell the root word love. And I think this is one of the easiest ones. We have the word worker. The root word is work, and this was our first thing to do, right? Erase the ER. That's exactly what you do. This word does not have to be changed in any way to meet any of our rules. Therefore, the root word is work. So sometimes you're going to have to come across some of these words. You're going to have to, and this helps us to think about the rule so that we can spell words correctly. Because can you imagine if we just took off the suffix, we would have words that look like this. And we would have gotten 1 out of 4 correct. So that is so important to remember your rules and to think how to work backwards and remove the suffix and bring the root word back to its original spelling. Okay, so think about that when you're doing your work and when you're working with words that have suffixes so that you can be a better speller and you will know exactly how to change that word back to its original root word. I know you can do a good job.